So Hasbro came in and blew our butts off with the new PulseCon releases a couple days ago, not only changing my mind about Beast Wars and getting me way into it, but also giving us a 2-pack 10th anniversary release and making scalpers hoarding breakdown copies probably like the vermin scum they are. This arbitrarily reminded me that I'm missing Bulkhead in my records collection. Bulkhead in Transformers Prime rocked absolute balls. His wholesome doofy demeanor and his bad babysitter vibe to Miko getting herself into this shit every time made him really enjoyable to watch. On a side note though, why is there so much hate for Miko? She literally beat the shit out of Starscream and went toe to toe with friggin' Predaking at 14, but nobody seems to acknowledge what a child prodigy she is. This is why, of course, finding a figure of him is one of those impossible to find bastard on the aftermarket figures because he's a first edition figure and was stupidly cancelled in the United States because we can't have nice things in the US. I could get the RID 2012 version of the thing, but no. I could get the animated version, but it doesn't match my super serious collector's items vibe that I'm going for in my chug-scaled collection because masterpieces would goddamn break me. Getting the first edition is wallet manslaughter, so of course I decided to go in that direction because what are good financial decisions, am I right? Anyway, now that my wallet's in dire straits, let's take a look at this absolute champion of awesome. Bulkhead transforms into pretty much the American vehicle archetype. Completely shit MPG, rides over completely unreasonable terrain that would only ever be seen in car commercials, probably takes up too much of the goddamn roadway, gets falsely advertised with a low MSRP with idiotic interest rates in your car loans, so they can scam you into paying way more than you should. You get it. He's essentially a badass sandwich on wheels. This thing absolutely rocks. It's extremely compact and dense while also rolling, which oddly enough, a rolling vehicle should do to begin with. Weird concept, right? The painted headlight details are awesome, and the bumper looks like it wants to punch you in the face. The only issue is that the front of the vehicle is uncovered and you can see his feet popping out. But trust me, if this thing were any more compact, it would have to defy the laws of physics to work. How the hell can a vehicle fit this much robot is nothing shy of dark magic. The wheels are borderline idiot size, making it so you probably need a stepladder to climb into the thing. It just appeals to my primitive internal spirit animal that wants to ride them over the top of a mountain in this thing without a shirt on, holding an American flag, screaming America! But we're just getting started with this party because this transformation is bonkers. The way the slider hinge pulls down to leave room for the legs is such an awesome way of leaving room for the asinine redistribution of this figure's mass. The way the sides of the cars segment themselves around the stomach while not making the thing look too square is some absolute sorcery. The arm sliding around the top and pulling down around his entire fat ass is such a pro gamer move, and the way it all tabs into the back flap here is insanely creative. There are some issues with the way that the vehicle mode has to segment itself around his stomach. The panels that form the entire front of the stomach feel way too loose, and I had to screw it back in after some stress in order to make sure it didn't fall out. Remember when figures were screwed together? All these G1 boomers going on about how diecast is a lost art. Durr. Bitch, having figures that stay together is a lost art. Can we take a second to talk about the excruciating screen accuracy of this silhouette? There's literally only one arguably faux part on the entire figure, but it still manages to nail screen accuracy to the next goddamn level. From his gorgeously painted silver and green head sculpt that seems to change emotions as you get different lighting angles, to his goddamn wrecking ball fist. This thing shouldn't be able to get any better than this, but it does, of course. Check out this superficial detail. When you fold the arms back into vehicle mode, they have to have enough clearance to fold underneath the thing. So in an effort to fill out the arms when you get it into robot mode, they added spring-loaded mechanisms just to get the slight build in the biceps. This was just there to fill out the arms slightly more and give it more screen accuracy. This is how you do screen accurate. This is how you keep a difficult to execute detail on a figure without screwing it up. Because unlike leader class double dealer, this thing doesn't have to sacrifice its entire lower body or awesome quality to be more accurate. This is because the design team innovated non-intrusive and creative ways of getting him there. And this is how you show passion at a Transformers project. So how's his articulation? He has a ball-jointed head, rotation and outwards movement at the shoulders, bicep rotation and double-jointed bend, hands flip in and out to make room for the wrecking balls, universal hips, knee bend, and, well, that's about it. His articulation is relatively limited, but do you really need him to move like a frickin' ballerina? It's Bulkhead, for Christ's sake. He isn't meant to be a ninja warrior. He's meant to be an absolute wrecking machine. And that's exactly what this thing is. An absolute dumb, completely unsubtle, absolute unit of a wrecking machine that encapsulates the spirit of the character and also keeps the excruciating level of screen accuracy that all the G1ers crave. In terms of the overall feel of the joint, I can definitely tell you that they are perfect. The way everything moves is so smooth. Nothing's too tight, nothing's too loose. Everything just works on this thing. The only thing I'd say is that the ratchet joints and the hips are a little bit too loose, but that's literally the only superficial nitpick I can think of. It really sucks that we never got a US official mainline release of this figure, and with the 10th anniversary of Transformers Prime coming up, I'm definitely hoping that they get Bulkhead back out in the stores. The United States deserved to have this line, and it was really stupid that Hasbro just decided to only have it in Japan. That was the dumbest thing I think they've ever done, and they've done a lot of dumb stuff. Including another price hike, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, for a low price of $2 more, you can get the Standard Edition Deluxe that's already doubled in price within the last 10 years. Just end my suffering already. If you can get this thing at its average retail market value, I highly recommend this thing. It's an absolute engineering marvel, and it's so insane how they managed to do this. The transformation is amazing, the screen accuracy is perfect, the articulation's great, the joints move like butter. I can't think of a single negative thing to say about this thing. If you can find it for a reasonable price, jump on it immediately, because you're not going to find a figure this good anywhere else. Sesame Street is brought to you by the letter Y for Why the Hell Am I Doing This?